everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game will feature a team that loves getting it done through the air. The Eagles are top 10 in passing TDs, and they go up against the Jaguars defense that will need to be on its game. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to... fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something that's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
Green 90. Green 90.
Now a play fake here on first down. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard around the 37. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They go play action here on first down. He's going to air one out. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The Eagles offense back out onto the field.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Waiting.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And his first look is incomplete.
man. 120. Dragon. Ram. There we go. Back man. Kill.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Hey, Lou.
Play action. Now Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Throwing on first is Wentz. He's going to go for a big play. And this is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The touchdown giving him the first quarter lead. Remember, they lost a rough game 2 weeks ago. Then they had to sit through the open week, but a good start here.
And just think about everyone around them, everyone around the organization. When you lose headed into that open week, everyone's cringing because you don't have a chance to get on the horse and ride it again for at least 2 weeks. Well, they were able to take that time, use it constructively, and now they're back in form.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. And this offensive unit should have a lot of juice coming off the big output that they had 1 week ago.
Nothing like confidence, is there? When you've played well the week before, you can't wait to get back on the field and do it again.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Ready, blue 45,
Bortles to throw on 3rd and 1. Complete. He finds Brate. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again. Double tight. Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Bortles now on first down. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him. All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his third catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. Now Leonard Fournette. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
Watch 81, fellas. Watch 81. Green, 90.
On second down, here's Bortles. And his throw is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Throwing now is Bortles. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Wentz now on first down. He's going to look deep down the field. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Here we go. Here we go. 120.
That boy's got 4. 4 down.
Porky. 82. Porky.
Now a play fake. Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
For Tokyo.
Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Liz.
Joker.
Hey, stat.
Joker.
Halfback sent in motion.
Check.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's going to wind up and air it out. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 4 down. Green.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. He finds Hearns left side. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. That's a matchup maybe they go back to their outer third of the field as this game continues.
Yeah, I think back to my high school coach, John Ford, who used to say when we got big plays early in a game or good play.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So on fourth down, here's Brad Nortman on to punt it away. This is taken at about the 14. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
Come on, let's go.
And some room to maneuver. Wow, Cordero Patterson, the 30, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Cordero Patterson, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. An update from Buffalo. The Bills have taken an early lead against the Dolphins. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game. And maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They got to steal it and try and gain an advantage. And they tried. They just didn't get it done.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Green 39. Green 39.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Green 39.
From midfield, here's Bortles. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Nortman on the kick as he sends it away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Strong right.
There we go. Back man. For Tokyo.
Even. 4 down.
Now this time, Wentz will throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
There we go. Back man. 120.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot.
4 down.
For Tokyo.
They do go for it. It's Wentz. And the pressure gets to him again. Miles Jack coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. And here is Blake Bortles as we focus in on him for our player spotlight. And boy, Charles, they have to find. And Charles, they just handed them a gift. Going for it there, that spot of the field inside the 20, boy.
Yeah, sometimes you think you've got plenty of time in a game, so you take a little bit of a crazy risk. This goes in the category of a crazy risk.
3 crazy.
Yeah, I'm giving you 3 on that one. But how about on the defensive side of the ball? To see them come out, line up, and decide to go for it there, you figure there's no way we're giving this one up. We're going to turn the ball over for our own offense and get some points out of it.
And they did the first part of that. Now they'll be looking to add those points with great field position. And able to get them inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Double tight. 3 down.
Again, it's Fournette. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Bortles going to try and throw on 3rd down. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Michael Kendricks in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. And his kick is right there. It's good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. He has not been on his A game, but his team has really picked him up. I think he probably now, second quarter, he's thinking, all right, time for me to get going.
And he also has to keep in mind that, he has contributed. You're exactly right. Not totally on his A game, but guess what?
He's got the touchdown pass.
He's got a touchdown pass. Yes, he tempered it with an interception. But he has contributed, and he just can't get down and worry about his own stats. The team's winning. That's cause for celebration, even though there's a ways to go.
But now he'll be looking to contribute a little bit more. Time running out here on the play clock. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Going down the middle, and it's complete. The 20. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Elliott now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now Bortles in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Michael Kendricks in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. From the gun, it's Bortles. And Brate has it over the middle. He's at the 50. And they finally get him down at the other 46. A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Bortles will try again on 2nd down. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars get a score closer.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals before this one they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drives exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Jeffrey with a catch left side. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now a play fake here on first down. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Hey, tight.
Lion. Hey, ram.
Check. Crunch.
Hey, kill.
Crunch.
Hey, four-toe kill.
Crunch.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
They've gone to the second quarter in Buffalo. And the Bills have now opened up a 2-touchdown lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Liz 5-3.
Wentz will try again on second down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Zach Ertz, the man in motion. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. Twisting away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
To throw is Bortles. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. Coming up at halftime, remember, we'll get you out to Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of this first half. That is, of course, unless you decide to skip him.
And for the record, we do not encourage that.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 38-yard line.
I'll give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy could be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for him, too.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know. Here we go, now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Completes it to Hearns. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Shotgun now for Bortles. He's going to float this one deep right side. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Point after try forthcoming. And this one's back to an 8-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They've gone to the second quarter in Buffalo. The Bills have taken an early lead against the Dolphins. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Able to fight through one tackle. He's still fighting forward. Oh, he breaks another. Finding room inside the 40. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. Gets past one man. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz.
4 down.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1.
Left. Watch left. Ready. Blue 45.
A final shot before half for Bortles. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this one is incomplete. So we've reached halftime in it. And before we could even hear from Larry, we're back and ready to go in week 5. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, Disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down.
Here we go.
And the wideout in motion. Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. They'll roll him out, and he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line, Telvin Smith from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Boy, sitting on a 2-score lead at this stage in the game, that punter, he must be pretty lonely over there on the sideline thinking, why in the world was my number not called there?
As far as he's concerned, the check will still cash, right? It's your choice not to use me in this situation. But I also look at it this way. You know, some coaches are more aggressive than others. They just want to take care of the football, have the ball on offense, and go at it that way. So a very interesting call.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Fletcher Cox continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
A gain of 5, but not enough, leads to a 4th and goal.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So his 3rd field goal of the ballgame brings him a bit closer, but there's no question. They need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up.
Sunday!
Kill. Hey, turn it up, turn it up.
Here we go, back man.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3 points?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
that. Super toe. Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Fournette on the counter, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On second down, here's Fournette. They juked him. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Blue 45! Blue 45!
Bortles now on first down. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. Give him 30 yards there.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Into the red zone, it's Bortles. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Cameron Brate, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are back within a score. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a second down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. The Eagles send out their punter now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the third quarter. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? It's a big play for the Jaguars. 79 yards. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
Roger. Come to my work. Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Elsewhere, second half is underway up in Orchard Park. And it's the Bills who are leading in that one. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
Three buzz. Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
The Jaguars on third down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 15.
Green 90.
Now Bortles. It's caught right side of turns. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this one is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, it can be a thankless job sometimes, but they'll be thanking their kicker here. That's now 4 field goals for him. He's kept them in the game.
He sure has, but this offense is going to need to find its rhythm because it's going to take more than field goals to win this football game.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Double tight, double tight.
Flex round. Let's go.
And now here's a carry heading left. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8.
Double tight, double tight.
There we go. Back man.
Hey,
20.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down.
Now this time, Wentz will throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
4 down.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Check. Lucky.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
3 down.
On play action, now Bortles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Tight ends left. Ready. Blue 45.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45. Check.
Again, it's Bortles. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Blake Bortles, his third touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. So they get the score still down, but bottom line is they kept themselves in the game.
They did keep hope alive, Brandon. That's exactly what they did. Now they've got to deliver and finish things off.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Keeps himself upright. Buying time to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. From the gun, it's Wentz. Dancing to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Here we go. 120. Sunday.
Hey. 4 down. Jam.
Kill.
Watch the shift.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be from 56 yards out. And that will wind up just short. He had it online. It ran out of gas at the end. They are in the 4th and Buffalo. The Bills, they are just continuing to pour it on. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. So points so crucial in a tight game like this, but this kick off the goalpost, and that'll keep the score right where it is.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made this a 2-score game, but any cushion this late definitely would have helped. Now they need to ask their defense for another stop, and that's going to require some work.
Bortles now on 1st down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but and he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And Brate has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards. It's so tough to cover a big tight end like that.
It changes the chalk, as one of my coaches like to say, meaning the normal things don't apply. All right, used to say, okay, there's a tight end going out. We're either going to put a big linebacker on him or maybe a safety and call it a day. Now, because of the strength of that position and the sheer number of catches that they make as well as their dexterity.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead, and I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like he still harbors some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
The offense certainly looking to score some points, but they also need ball security here late as we get down to the final moments of this one.
4 down.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Intentional grounding, offense.
In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
Guys, double tight.
Touch, 120.
And he motions the wide receiver.
We got 4 down.
Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Two tights.
Here we go. Dragon. Ram.
4 down. Shift. Watch the shift.
Tyson.
Check 50.
Push up.
Back to throw.
Motion.
Flushed out right. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 40. Give him 30 yards there.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And that'll bring up second down. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
It's caught by Aguilar. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Ram. Go. 120. Kill.
Whip. Watch
There
that.
we go. 180. Undercrutch.
He'll look to throw. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Back to throw. Completes it to Aguilar. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
There we go. Bust. Ramp. 81. Lion.
Now a handoff as they run left side. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to...
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. They'll look to throw. And Brait, the tight end's got it. And a timeout is called. So now you're looking at probably just one final play from back in their own territory. And they're going to need a miracle. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. To throw is Bortles. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out.